guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to start a new series on Java. So in this series, we are going to start from very big, like from very scratch. Even if you don't know what programming is, like even what Java is, how do we do coding and all. I'm going to cover everything in this series. So if you are absolute beginner or if you don't know Java at all, this course will cover everything. Even if you know it, but you want to switch to Java or you want to learn Java, definitely this video series is helpful for you. So we are going to start from very beginning, like what is Java and the applications of Java itself, like and then Java, like the environment where Java runs. It's code like Java is a bit different from the other programming language, and then also we are going to cover like up till we are going to create a mini project as well. So like we are going to cover all the topics. Like today we are going to cover to like our first Java program itself. And then also we are going to cover like what are Java basics, like what are variables, literals, keywords, identifiers, and then like we are going to move to conditions, object-oriented programming language, and then constructors and methods, strings, Java collection. Java collection is important for like competitive programming because in competitive programming we need this Java collection. It makes our task easier to do competitive programming. And yeah, there are a lot of other benefits as well that we use in real life as well. But for the purpose of interview and just to learn the course, it is like most like it is important for it. We can say competitive programming. And then there is like exception handling, regular expression, multi-threading. Java is known for multi-threading, and also the packages. So let's start it. Okay, so what is Java itself? So Java is a high-level object-oriented programming language. So what do I mean by high level? If I go here, like if I can type here, okay, sure. I think I can type. Okay, so if you talk about low, there are like certain levels of programming language. So if I talk about like low level, so low level programming language seems something like this. Let me expand it. Okay, cool. Okay. So suppose I have to say hello world. So it is the programming language that is understood by computers. We can say understood by computers. So this language looks something like this. Suppose I have to say hi. So it might look something like 001, so damn, 010, something like zeros and combinations of zeros and ones. So this language, I mean, this is not the hi, but yeah, it looks something like this, like combinations of zeros and one. And then there is also a middle level, like assembly level language, we can say. So in assembly level language, though it is easier for humans, like humans can understand at least assembly level language, but yeah, it is very difficult for us to understand low level language. But computers only understand low level language. So, but it is easier for computers to translate assembly language to low level language than from translating high level language to low level language. And so assembly language looks something like this. Suppose I have to sum two variables or two values, let's say. So it should look something like this like add, suppose to variable a is a and variable b is b. And there are other commands as well, like move b to c or whatever, like c to d, whatever. So it looks something like that. Is like we humans can understand like what's going on, but yeah, it is a bit difficult to write complex program in assembly level language. So now like let's move to high level. What Java follows is high level. So we, as humans, it's easier for us to understand high level language. It looks very similar to English language. Like to create a class or to create a function, you know, we or to print something. We write this like system.out.print or whatever. So we write some sort of these syntax. It is easier for us to understand, like it looks clearer, like okay, this is like something to do with the console or system. This is out is something output, and then print is something like we want to print something on the screen. So yeah, it is easier for us to understand high level language. So this is example of high level language. This is example of, but yeah, like so how do this work? We'll talk later. Like we use compilers and interpreters to like chain, like we use compilers and interpreters to convert this high level language to low level language so that computers can understand, and then when computer generate the result, it converts like low level language to high level language so that we can understand. It works like that. Okay, then let's move to what is object oriented programming language. So object oriented programming language is something like there are two sorts of programming language. There is one called procedural. Oh, let me type it. But there is one procedural programming language, and then there is also object oriented programming language. Like Java is object oriented programming language. So we'll talk about like object oriented So definitely we are gonna like talk about in details like what object oriented programming language is. But for now, let's say like I'm just giving you the overview, like what's the difference. So procedural language is that follows like a tons of bunch of functions. Like there are, let's say, function. Okay, let's okay, function one. Let's say function one, function two, function three, and so it follows like tons of bunch of functions. And if you have to perform any task, we call any specific function. But if you want to make changes, tiny changes, like little changes, then we have to write a whole new function for that. But oh, sorry, my bad. But in object-oriented programming language, there is a concept of classes and objects. Like there is one class that serves as a blueprint. There is one class that serves as a blueprint. Oh, class syntax goes. It doesn't go like this. Down. There is a concept of class, and it serves like a it serves like a blueprint or the template, we can say. And then we can create like multiple objects out of it. That are like real world entities that serve as an object, like, and then we can pass different values to different objects. We can create like customized objects for the same class. So it uses something like it is sort of like saves time and like give us more structured way of programming. Like definitely we are going to talk about like in details what object oriented programming is, but yeah, for now you just understand like difference between why Java is object-oriented programming language and why do we even need object-oriented programming language. Okay, next thing is that it is designed to be portable, meaning that Java code can run on any device that has Java Virtual Machine installed. So what does it mean is like, okay, in general, like we can say programming languages like we just run create a program like we write. Suppose this is a C++ or C# code. So yeah, C++ code. So we write a couple of lines. It is like interpreted using compiler or interpreter. But what happens is that it runs on some sort of like operating system or some hardware or some operating system. But Java doesn't use this concept. Like Java has its own like virtual machine. Java has its own virtual machine. We call it JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine. So Java code, because we write Java code and then we compile it and then convert it into something called bytecode. So this Java code actually doesn't run. The actual Java code doesn't run, but this bytecode is run on this Java Virtual Machine. So whenever we got this bytecode, once we got this bytecode, if we even want to move this bytecode to new system, to new machine where JVM is installed, we can run the same bytecode without recompiling or recreating the same thing. If the system or the operating system, the hardware is containing this JVM thing, like Java Virtual Machine, then we can definitely run this bytecode wherever. So that's why we call a Java code a portable code, that once we write it and then we can run it anywhere where JVM is installed, regardless of underlying hardware operating system. Some of its key features include automatic memory management, garbage collection, exception handling, and rich API library. What do you mean by memory management is that in other languages like in C and C++, we do have if we are allocating some memory like with the help of malloc or whatever. If you are from that background, then it's good. Else I'm going to tell you okay, if we use malloc to suppose this is a memory chunk. So if we have to dynamically update something or do something, we use the concept of malloc to allocate to engage this piece of memory, to this chunk of memory or this piece of memory we use to engage engage it. And like once we are done, like when once we are done like using this memory, then we have to also free this memory. Like if we don't free this memory, it will always be engaged in with this like a variable or whatever value we store there, or whatever for whatever purpose we like engage this piece of memory. So we have to like manually free that piece of memory so that we don't like get into memory leakage problem. Like we if we keep on like allocating memory and we don't free it, then at one point our entire memory will be filled with the garbage, like with the values that we no longer need, and then we won't be able to like allocate new memory to there, and then we'll run into the problem called memory leakage. But Java handle this thing at its own. Like we don't have to manually free the memory. Like we can just allocate the memory, and then when we are done, Java will automatically erase this piece of memory. Like free this piece of memory. Like it will free this piece of memory, and then you don't have to care about like freeing the memory whenever you are allocating. So it prevents sort of like a memory leakage, we can say. Memory leakage. Okay. Sure. Next thing is garbage collection is sort of similar concept. Like it keep on cleaning the memory, keep on like collecting the garbage values and all like they're that are no longer in use. And then there is exception handling. Exception handling means like we use the concept of like try catch. I can say okay. We use the concept of try catch. Like if some sort of like error hand like occurs, then we put some exceptions. Like in some exceptional case, or we display some messages or something. So yeah, it uses the concept of exception handling. Like if then there is not a normal case, like if instead of like just terminating the program, Java used to display some message and like move on instead of like just terminating the program if some error occurred or if something bad happens. So this is going to concept like definitely we are going to like explore these topics in detail in future. These are if I go back like there is an entire topic of exception handling. There is an entire topic of object-oriented programming. I'm just giving you the overview, like why we use Java, what are the benefits of Java, what is Java, it is, and then there is it like rich API library as well. What I mean by rich API library is that like we can interact with a lot of other platforms with the help of Java, and like Java is sort of very large programming language where we are able to interact with a lot of other APIs as well. So now let's move to like this is how Java work. Like it is object-oriented programming. It is concurrent. Okay, concurrent. With the meaning like what does it means is like that instead of like running single thread, we can run like multiple thread concurrently. Like multiple things are happening. Like, suppose if I have to create some software like video player. So in the video player, there are concepts like there is timer running, there is video going on, there is a bar that is being filled to tell us like how much video we have. So there are like multiple things happening in the background. Like there are multiple things happening all at once. So they all run concurrently. So we have the concept of like multi-threading and concurrency. And then there is it is a class based. Obviously, like Java is class based. Like we create classes and then we create templates of those classes called objects, and then we use these objects in the real world. We can execute many statements instead of that sequential executing. Yeah, we talk about like okay. This is concept like the concept of LoRa. We can say like we discussed here, like write program once and like run it anywhere. Like we this with the help of this we can say portability. It gives us the concept of like LoRa, like write once and run it anywhere. Like if we write a program one and then compile and create a bytecode of that program, there is okay. Let me go back even. Let me explain it clearly. Okay, yeah. So suppose this is our program file. Like this is let's say .java file. This is .java file, and then we compile it with the help of some compiler interpreter, and then we sort of create a bytecode out of it. Like there is a file called bytecode. Bytecode. So now instead of like creating and running this program again and again, like we can use this same bytecode to run on Windows, let's say Mac, and then we can also run on Linux, and even if on different hardwares and a different operating system. So this is the concept of like LoRa. Like we just write the code once, and then we created a bytecode out of it, and then we can run this bytecode anywhere instead of like without compiling or doing anything. This what, but yeah, if we make like changes in this file, then we have to create a new bytecode for that. We can't like this bytecode is for the initial version, but yeah, after we make the changes, we have to create a new bytecode. Oh, damn byte. code. So this is the concept of like what in a nutshell what Java is, like how Java works. So yeah, we didn't start coding this. I'm just telling you like what Java is. Okay, so what are the applications of Java? Like where we can use it. So definitely we can create a desktop GUIs, like I mentioned. If you have to create some sort of like a video player or other calculators, or other like software programs that are run on desktop, and then definitely we can. There is a lot of usage in the enterprise, like, and then we also use it in the scientific research and all, like to create the graphs and all, and like do different sort of experiments and do different sort of comparisons. Yeah, and then it is also used for web-based programs and web-based application, also for cloud-based applications, and then definitely it is well popularly known for gaming. And to be honest, like most of the programmers that are working on Java are creating mobile applications to be. Yeah, so yeah, there are like a lot. Like we can create a web application, Java server pages, mobile application, desktop application, games, enterprise applications, and then there are a lot. So yeah, definitely. I mean, it is not for a specific purpose. It is like sort of a general purpose language we can use in a lot of fields. Like Java can be applied in a lot of fields. Now this is the important part. Like I was talking about, like some sort of Java virtual machine. So yeah, this is important part, and definitely we are going to like talk up in detail like how things work. So Java, there is sort of like core Java development kit. Inside of Java development kit, there is like Java development tools, and then there is Java runtime environment. So in Java development toolkit, there are like a lot of other tools like Java development tool, other tools, JHeap and Java, etc. There are a lot of tools which help to run and like create a bytecode and run a Java program. And then there is Java runtime environment. So Java itself doesn't, like Java program doesn't run on operating system. It does run on this runtime environment. There is a separate runtime environment which should be like different for runtime environment, could be different for different machines. But yeah, once we install this runtime environment, we can run any Java program on that specific system, on that specific hardware, we can say. And then inside the Java runtime environment, there is Java virtual machine, where exactly the code execute, where exactly the Java bytecode execute. And then there are set of libraries, like we'll talk about, like definitely talk about, like there are a lot of libraries we'll use. Like there is Java math library, there are Java scanner library, there are user libraries. There are a lot of libraries we are gonna like use, and like I'm gonna keep on telling you on time, like what library we are using, what a library is. We can say like these are a set of programs that someone wrote for us, and then we don't have to rewrite them again and again. We can directly use them and then like do our specific tasks. Like we have to focus on our specific tasks. We don't have to focus on the task that is sort of repetitive. That task someone has did for us, and then we can definitely use them. And there are some other files as well. Okay, so this is like what Java virtual machine is, like how okay, so this is like how source code is inputted into Java development toolkit, and then it creates a bytecode for us. So this bytecode now move into Java like JITs. There is something called like Java just-in-time compiler. So this compiler give us the implementation of the code, and then it goes to JRE, and then JRE runs the code itself. So this is like general, like bookish definition of like what Java virtual machine is, what JVM is, what JRE is, what JDK is. So Java virtual machine is abstract computing machine. So it is sort of like a machine itself, and then Java program are written against the JVM specification for the OS platform, and they translate the Java instructions to the underlying platform specification instruction and execute them. JVM enables the Java program to be platform independent. Yeah, that also makes the program platform independent. That means we can run on any platform. If we are able to install this kit, then we can run the Java program. So yeah, it is like Java program are not dependent on a specific that platform. Instead, they are like, if we are able to like install this kit, we can run the Java program then. And then what is JRE? JRE is an implementation of JVM and the Java APIs. And then what is JDK? JDK, like I have shown you the like what it looks like JDK. Inside the JDK there is JRE, and inside the JRE there is JVM. So this is all like we talked about, like what is JDK, which contains tools and all. We have already talked about this, right? So now let's set up our Java Visual Studio Code. Okay, so first thing you have to install the Visual Studio Code. You'll get this link in the description as well. You can click it there, and then it is a simple process. Just you have to keep doing next. I think like if you are here to learn a Java, you definitely need how to like you definitely know how to install a particular file or a software, right? So yeah, this is like I'm going to provide this link in the description. You can go there and like click it, and just it is simple to install it. Like definitely there are a lot of other platforms you can use. BlueJ to run the Java program. You can use other CodePens and other softwares to run the Java program. But yeah, I do like prefer Java, like this Visual Studio Code. And then to be honest, like this is sort of industry standard as well. So yeah, it is better, and it is from Microsoft itself. So yeah, it is a better one. We can definitely use this one. Else, like I'm not saying like you can't use Sublime or some other software. Like if you like them, definitely use them. I'm just telling like this is one of my choices. You can also use this if you do have other preferences. And then there is a specific package we need to install to run a Java program. I'll provide the link for this as well. You just click on yeah, you have to just like install it and then run it. It will automatically be added to your Visual Studio Code. And after like you are done, you can just open the package, like open the Visual Studio Code wherever you want to create a Java program, and then you have to like follow these instructions. You have to like open the command palette with the help of these commands, and then you have to select this Java create Java project thing, and after that you have to like click on no build tools. When you select this prompt will come like this sort of window will be displayed. You have to click on no build tools. After that you have to choose the memory location and then give like where you want to save like your Java project, and then after you choose it, you have to give the name of the project itself. So let me check if I can go and like show you. Suppose okay, this is my uh okay, this is my Visual Studio Code like this, like the first one. Now I'll search for like Java create Java project, and then I'll do like no build tools, and I'll choose the location, and then after that I'll definitely do like give it the name test project. Okay, so let me do first control or command in Mac, and then I'll do Control Shift P, and then I'll choose like Java, create Java project, and then after that it will give me this window, and we have to select no build tools, and then after that it will give me like okay where you want to save. Then I will choose a folder like Java tutorials, and then we'll select the location, and then I'll give it name of like test project or whatever name you want to give. So yeah, and voila, our project is created. And now like we can create and one more thing, like when our project will be created, you will see this sort of like window here. And then now if we go to like there is a lot of already built-in code like settings on JSON. You don't have to worry about this for now. Like we'll talk about it later. And then one thing is important, like all the code is going to be here in the source folder. So yeah, if I open this, there is a baller template, and the next thing we're going to talk about is this template itself. So yeah, this is our first Java program. What we are going to talk about, like, okay, so I think I should like take a snip of it, and then I'll tell you like how things are working here. Okay, let me take a snap of it. Okay, cool. So yeah, all right. Sorry. So let me paste it here, and then we are going to like we officially are going to talk about like our first Java program, like how things work here. Okay, I'm gonna explain everything in detail. Okay, so this is our first Java program. So okay, what is public? Like this is our so like you might be confused like what is this stuff? So this is our actual Hello World program, and even if I go here and run the program itself, I got a run button here, so I can definitely like this is the actual program like in the VS Code. So if I click on this run button, it will give us the hello world. It will print this hello world thing. It should print it. So yeah, you can see here it give us the hello world. Even if I want to write something like hello, any name like let's say hello Ali, so it will print hello Ali. You can definitely try your name here, and yeah, it give us like hello Ali. So this is like how things work. Like this is working program. So now it is like sort of template the Java gave us to understand like or it is just pre-built code for us. So yeah, let's get started. Like let's understand this how things are working. So what do you mean like what is public thing? So there is a specific like access is specifier. This is sort of access specifier, and public means anyone can access this class from anywhere. Like wherever we put public, like instead of like even if it's a class, it's if it's a method, or if it's some variable or something like int or something, if we are putting public, that means it is a public variable or class or whatever, so anyone can access this class or like variable or method. So and then class is a keyword. This is a reserved word. We cannot use class as a variable name or something. So this class is a keyword, and this keyword is used to create a class in Java. So this public is access is specified. That means like it is used so to make it a publicly available, and then this class is a keyword, okay, to create a class in Java, and all the programs in Java runs inside the class. And this is a class name. And one important thing is that with this class name should be same as the file name. If I go here, you can see this class name is app, so also the file name is also app.java itself, right? So this should be the same to run. In some cases, like we can definitely change the name, but yeah, in general we don't like, we have to put the same name as a class name. But yeah, if there are like multiple classes, so we have to put the class name same as the file name, which class we want to execute or run for the first, like whenever the program load, the class we want to run should be have same name, even the like capitalization and all should be the same as the file name itself. So this thing is what we keep in mind. But yeah, if someone asks like, can we have different name, so we can say yeah, like if in interview or some type, so yeah, definitely we can have, but yeah, in generally we don't keep it. And why we can have is like in some cases we do have like we do have to create private classes, so in that case we can have a different name as well. So yeah, but yeah, in general we don't, like we keep the class name same as the file name itself. Okay. Okay, so now let's move here. Forget about this like run and debug thing. This is the same as like this run button and debug thing. So yeah, it is just inside the VS Code. You might not found it in other code editors. So yeah, don't worry about this thing. Okay. Now let's move on. Like what is public again? Like specifier. And what static is doing here is that, okay, let me write it even. Like what static is doing. So static is for like it is to create a static like methods or variables or but here what it is doing, it is sort of, because if we have some method or some variable that is like static, that are static, then we don't need to create an object for that. Like we'll discuss about it later. Like to use this class, to use any class, we need to create an object of that class, and then we can use the methods or functions. This is the method. Okay, let me change it. This is the main method or main function as well. Like we use this term, like methods and functions are used interchangeably. Both means like the function itself. So if we put this thing like, okay, if we put this static, that means we can create, like we can use this method or whatever without creating the object. We can use without creating object of it. But why do we need it? Like if we talk about like why do we don't need to create an object of this class, because like whenever Java program enters, like whenever Java programs start running, so there is no place where we can access this main method, because program itself is start from main method. So to access this main method, we have to give some sort of, like we have to make it static so that we can access it or we can use it without creating the object. Because once we are inside the program, then we can create a method and then use it. But without entering the program, there should be some point we can enter the program without creating the object itself, right? Okay, now void. Let's move to void itself. So, my bad. So what is void? Void means that returns null. And this main method always return null. Then why? Let's see. So actually there are certain things like in return int, you can return a string, and there are a lot of things we can return. But yeah, from the main methods we always return void, and void means return null. Return null. But why do we return null? Like return null means return nothing from the void itself. But why do we return null from the void? Because like this a function or a program return the value to its parent, but there is no parent. Like there is no, this program is called by Java virtual machine itself. So if we try to return some value to Java virtual machine, but we can't do there anything, so it's useless to return any value from the main function itself. And even if sometimes we accidentally return something and we expect it to do something, it might give us some sort of bug or error. That's why we always use void, so that we can't return anything from the main function. And this main, now let's move to the main. So main is the name of the function itself. And yeah, generally, whenever Java program starts, it searches for main function. If there is a main function, it will always start the running the code from the main function itself. We can say main function or starter function. Starter function. So yeah, if we do have like the main itself, it is a name of the function itself. So and whenever Java program start, it search for main function. If there is a main function, it will always start from the main function itself. And let's move to now this string args. So this is how we create the array in Java. So this is sort of like a array of strings to get the arguments from the virtual machine itself. So yeah, just I mean like definitely we are going to talk about in details like how we create an array of strings or maybe integers or something. So this is a keyword. Like a string is a keyword to create the array which can hold the strings itself, and then this is the like mark, or these are like open and closing square brackets to create an array, and then we give the name of the array as arguments. Definitely you can change this name from arguments to something what you like. Okay, now this is like through exception. So yeah, you can see like we reach the point where we are using the exception concept. Like if there is some issue in running this program, it will throw some exception. Like sometimes we use io.buffer library. So we always use these sort of things like throw exception. If there is some issue in getting input or generating output, then it will throw exception. Instead of like crashing the program itself, it will throw an exception and tell us like what's wrong like what is wrong with the program or what happened, instead of like just crashing the program itself. So now, okay, so now what the system.out.println do? Let's talk about this. So actually, this is to just print, like we already said, this is to print the hello world on the terminal itself. But yeah, let's talk about each and specific thing. So system is talking about like system is sort of, we can say, it is sort of class itself. Like there is package where there is like one class called system. It is used to interact with like the system, like the console or the system itself, terminal itself, we can say. So this is class to interact with, like we can get the input from the system, we can get we can generate output to the system. So this is class to do this, like this stuff. And then out means like this is object. This is object itself. This is object which is used to send the object outside. Like if we have to print something, we'll use out. If you have to get some value, we'll use in instead of like out. And then this print is a function to print something. Print is a function to print something. And then this ln is to just move the cursor on the next line. This ln is used to move the cursor on the next line function. Okay, like if we don't even use this, it will still work. But yeah, it will like print hello world, and then it will keep this cursor on the same line itself. But if we use ln, then it will move the cursor to the next line. Let me demonstrate it as well. And then yeah, I'll definitely demonstrate this part. And then this is like a VS Code specific, like it is telling that we are giving some value, so forget about this. Like you won't find this thing in other editors, code editors. And then this hello world is like inside the code. That means everything inside the double quotes will be printed exactly as it is if we don't format the code itself. Like if we put some formatter, some f values, and then we put something in curly bracket and then try to plug in some other value, then the case is different. Else, in general, everything inside the double quotes, like inside the set of parentheses, like double quotes, it always print exactly what is written there. And then this is also this round brackets, we can say this is always used after the function. Like whenever we create any function, we use these round brackets. And then this semicolon is important itself. So this semicolon tells us like that this statement or this statement, yeah, this line of code or this statement is terminated here. Now from onwards, we have to like continue with the next line, or even we can create some other print statement on this line as well. But yeah, it knows like this statement ends here. Now I have to execute a new statement itself. Okay, so this is all about like, and then this is the like this. A round bracket is used to create a function itself. It is used to create a main function, and then also to create a class itself. So that's all about like how like each and everything work in a Java program. and voila, you like understand your first Java program, and you can even write your first Java program. Try to plug in your name here, and then try to bring the different values, different things on the on the console terminal itself. Now let's like try this. We like printing without ln and then printing with ln thing. The things would become more clear. So now first let me create one more line of code. Let's say like hello. Okay, let's first print the greeting. Let's say good morning. Good morning, and then we'll say, okay, let me copy this line. It's like right typing everything. Control C, and then let's say hello. Hello world. Okay, now what it will do, like it will print this good morning on the first line, and then it will print this hello world on the second line. Let me clear the terminal first, so that you won't get confused. Okay, so now if it will on the first line it will print good morning, and then on the second line it will print hello world. So let me run the program. Okay, so you can see like good morning is on the first line, and then hello world is on the second line because we have put the terminal like ln itself. But let's remove this ln, and instead let's give a space here so that we can distinguish between two. Save the program and then run it again. Now you can see like it prints the good morning and the hello world on the same line itself. So yeah, you like get the idea of like what ln do, right? So this is how ln work. So I think this is all for today, and then definitely we are going to continue tomorrow with more detail and then with more information about the Java itself. So you learn about like in general what Java is, what programming language is, like how do Java program work, and each and every word there, like each and every word or each and every even the use of parentheses, even the use of quotes. I've told you everything. Congratulations and thanks for watching.